GMB Pros, welcome everybody. Steven's here live. I appreciate you, man. Buddy, I met over in Las Vegas. So I just wanted to recap again, those that are catching the replay, those that are on here live, and those that are on Facebook. The goal of GMB Pros, mine and William's goal is a couple things. One is to help you grow as an agency, and number two is to help get results of your clients. Um, so I try to bring on guests that will help us do that with like over the shoulder examples, right? Because there's something about like we talk about something and then then there's we're doing it like that's what he means, like okay, that clarifies that, like, so for visual, audio, and hands-on type of learning, I try to cover that. So I appreciate everyone that's on here. I love you guys' support. So I just got back from SEO Spring Training, done by Terry, Elizabeth, and Clint were the hosts out in Phoenix, Scottsdale. It was great. Had a great time, guys. Um, the Samuel Clint, I believe he told me this was the first time he co-hosted it. Man, they put you can tell they put a lot of elbow grease, foresight. So it was great, guys. It was super exciting. It was a last minute thing for me. One thing that I want to talk about with this conference, it was the vibe. People were friendly, people were like you can go up to the speakers. It was super, super cool. A lot of people that have been on the BMP Pros, I actually got to meet in person. I think I met and said hello to literally all the speakers that were there. So that was fantastic. It just the vibe, it was almost the right amount of attendees. So I don't know, 100, 125, and that's totally guessing, guys. I have no idea, just eyeballing. It was just enough where you can mingle and meet everyone that you went when they had a VIP section with baseball, with I believe golf was involved. I believe they went to a shooting range. And then the main event, the Thursday night, that's when I got there, Thursday night with the cocktail, meeting everyone, some surprise guests that were there that were super cool to kind of meet, right? Those personalities, as far as online YouTube personalities that we see. So it was super, super excited. So I want to cover some things that I met, and big shout out. I don't know if you guys know Marty. He was there, speaking. Holly, we just had Holly, and that was one person I did not get to go see, but she was there. Michael Rayburn, I met him, I chatted with him, super cool guy. I believe it is Domination Simplified is what he's a part of. Great dude. I didn't get to see his presentation because there was always somebody else. And then the second day, there was always somebody else that wasn't covered. Because the layout was they had like the main stage. They probably had like, I don't know, 5 speakers, lunch, and then they would have like 4, I believe, breakout rooms. So the way they call it is you pick your poison, you pick what was more relative to you, and then you went into there, and then they just rotated for that day. And each breakout room was like an hour, and then you went to the next one, an hour, next one, and then the next day you can pick another breakout room. But sometimes that's what happened to me with Holly the second day. Holly and Chris were at the same time. And Chris, I had heard a lot of stuff about Chris's stuff. And even Holly told me, go to Chris's thing, man, you're missing out. Like, really? What the heck? So, but I wanted to catch Holly. She was teaching how to do books, and things of that nature. So I missed it. Michael Rayburn, guys, that's a real cool dude. Mike Marlino, I saw him speak. Gosh, Mike Marlino always comes with this energy, but this knowledge. And one thing about Mike Marlino, besides he's entertaining, he's excited, and I think he's more passionate about what he's doing and a believer and really wants to help us. but at the same time, like you got to watch him. If you guys get an opportunity to watch Mike Merlino's live, guys, he's always giving a little bit that from what you learned from Michael before. If you hear him multiple times, he always gives you a little bit more. And one thing about Mike and any of these speakers, I found like if you take what they're teaching you and you apply it and you get stuck or you have questions, you can always go up to them, especially Mike, like, hey Mike, this is where I'm at. Can you unstuck me? Or where did I go wrong? Or this is, where I'm at. They're all willing to help you. So um guys, credit where credit is due. When you hear me say, don't let Google guess, where you're at, what you do, what keywords, that's Mike Marlino's. I 100% get that from Mike Marlino. He went in a little bit deeper, and really that's the cornerstone of what he does. Brand search is not a new thing, but that's like the flagship of Mike. Like I understood him a little bit more when I saw that, and that's the true cornerstone of everything he does. Um, and then just putting the puzzles together the right way. So shout outs to Mike. I consider him my friend. And it was really cool watching him. Chad Lawson was another one I got to miss, but hopefully I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm gonna have him on GMB Pros, hopefully, and get him to speak. Holly Witchard, you guys have heard her here on GMB Pros. She talked about um, picture SEO, the meta tags, the alt tags, and everything with the pictures, optimizing that. She gave out her free tool. If you guys haven't caught the GMB Pros with Honey, she was pretty awesome. I caught her once. Um, Elias, I did not catch him at all, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. Simon, I did not catch his at all either. Andrew Ansley, co-founder of Content Sprout. I caught his. He really went into kind of depth into like his theory and how he ranks and how he does things. He showed some examples. So big shout outs to Andrew, Content Sprout AI. Real knowledgeable guys. If you guys ever get to meet him in person, very approachable, very cool dude. Content Sprout is the platform that and director of marketing for them. Dixie Jones, yeah, I did watch him. He was pretty interesting on how he takes a different angle on, how can I say it? Um, like internet marketing, like how to connect the two and going a little bit deeper. Um, he really took apart the NLP, um, talked about a little bit of that. He got really deep, to be honest with you. He talked about bees and guitar selling. So I personally had a hard time following him, but very cool. His presentation was very cool. He actually came overseas, somewhere in Europe. Charles was super awesome. We've had him on GMB Pros. Charles has a lot of data, a lot of access to a lot of stuff. You remind me of Charles Stevens for some reason. I don't know what it is. You guys' demeanor, the way you guys move, but real cool guy. So yeah, Charles talked about like Google and the different ways and different areas of searches within Google. He broke that down. So when you take a look at Google and you search, there's maps, there's organic. If you scroll down, there's different areas that you can pop up. So he kind of showed us a little bit about that. He was really interesting. Patrick Shannon, again, we've had him on Lead Snap, or not Lead Snap, Patrick Shannon from Lead Snap. We've had him on GMB Pros several times. Back in the day, he was like a weekly guest with us. He was with Lead Snap, how to prospect with Lead Snap. Now, here's a thing that he talked about as far as the decision making that was kind of cool. when somebody says like, hey, for example, there's a $5,000 setup fee, $1,500 a month, but if you sign up today, it's $5,000. We'll waive the setup fee, right? And he went a little bit further with that for those that are doing sales. And what he said is like, look, most of our clients that have been the most successful are the ones that take action, the ones that help themselves, the ones that are in communication with us. So this waiving, if you sign up right now, we just find that it the most successful clients we worked at are action takers, and that's just part of that. So he gave the why, and it wasn't no BS like, oh, like sales tactics. He says like, if you sign up, we'll waive it, but let me tell you why. Does that make sense? It's just the action takers. And like I said, it's the people that have worked with us, that are action takers, that will do reviews or send in the pictures, will do the onboarding form. So he's explaining why. So that was pretty cool and interesting that I took from Patrick. Travis Weathers, um, your minimum, or no, I'm sorry, the most important number for each head of the department. I took a lot from him. I did not get a chance to speak with them, but I'm gonna reach out to him and hopefully have him on GMB Pros. The most important number for each department. He broke that down for us for like sales, for marketing, for fulfillment, right? Um, for like your project managers, customer success. And then everybody has the most important number that no matter what you do, as far as your organization is profit. So every department's goes to support profit, but each department has its own most important number. And we'll take fulfillment, for example. So website, you have to fulfill on time. All fulfillment has a percentage of on time, which keeps the customers happy, keeps the results happy, which support the organizational most important number, which is profit. So he broke that down for each department. That was, I never seen somebody, man, his critical thinking, that's really what it was, because he even went down to sales. And he took like, man, I hope this works. I hope this channel works. Crossing your fingers as an agency. And I forget what his niche is. It's funny when he opened up the meeting, is like he's a flight instructor, and I'm assuming he's a pilot, a commercial pilot. He says you'll never meet a commercial pilot or flight instructor that in the first 5 minutes of meeting them that they're not going to tell you that. So that was kind of that funny. But yeah, that dude rotate digital. Oh, landscaping. Landscaping is his niche, and seven figure, like blows it out of the water. Yes,
Wow.
yes, like it's
Landscaping.
crazy, crazy. Yeah, yeah, it was landscaping. Um, so but his mind, and he took the guessing out of everything of an agency, ads, brand, um, because you break the most important number down into steps and what success looks like, and what are the expectations that support um, that department's most important number. So there's zero guessing. And yeah, you got to pivot, you got to adjust as you start monitoring those projections. But there's never, like, if you go with the media buyer, they know what like, have you ever delivered? And he used this exact examples. Have you ever delivered? We got this much traffic. We greened out your maps, right? And you go back to, let's say, Steven, I'm your agency. We did all this. You're like, dude, that's okay. I got it. But my most important number was phone calls or whatever it was. Like, yeah, great. But the one that was important to me, you missed.
Hmm.
Yeah, but did it so what? It doesn't matter. Whether it be phone calls, whatever it is, this really helps. Like his critical thinking, like was on point, and he made it look smooth. It's not easy to get these because there's like sub like topics, right? There's you know, for example, sales, right? And the way he did is like, closing ratio, your calendar, qualified leads, right? All that's important to sales. But in sales in his organization, the most important number is new MRR revenue. So he took stuff, he put that critical thinking, super cool. Brian Cato, I believe he spoke the second half of Sunday. I was not there, but he was there, super cool. Gregory Ortiz, guys, if you guys can connect with him, the best way to do it is through Facebook, he says. This dude, okay, so his background is in operations. I think H&M, Kohl's. I may be missing the mark on that.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond, yes, 100%. So he took his frame and the operational skills he learned and applied it to like agencies. He's helped hundreds and hundreds from startups to like people that have grown 7 figures, came down, maybe grown to 30, 40, 50K a month and gone back down. So he says a lot of those he's helped, but he's helped some big agencies as well. Man, this guy like really like he surveyed the last 100 he did. He put it into percentages. What the real problem is, he goes in and kind of takes your operations, polishes it from offer, from onboarding, from sales, the whole nine. Young dude too. Like if he's older, he sure doesn't look like it. Really young dude, really experienced. Man, I'm hoping to connect with him a little bit more, but I took a lot from him, a tremendous amount. Brian Widom, this dude, so he really taught us how to take your own properties. In his case, it's like, what would it be like? Google News networks that he has set up, some authority, building sites, domains, press releases that he has out there and leverage them beyond its purpose. He kind of reminded me of Cato because I've heard Brian Cato really like take a tool and he like look at it a different way. How can I leverage this tool for its unintended usage, but it'll help me somewhere else. And Brian really, I think, levels up. Like if you have a PBNs, if you have a press release, if you have your network of things, how to leverage that to make more income. So this guy and like his affiliates and backlinking, the way he did that, it was pretty like eye opening. Dino, guys, Dino's another one that he's been on GMB Pros. Dino, I met his mom, his dad was there. He's a super cool guy. Dino, we've had him. He spoke a little bit deeper into leveraging Facebook. He even talked about school, the platform, how to leverage that. Um, if you guys can catch, he has a lot of free trainings within his group. Dino's a kind of dude, and I saw it when he was on GMB Pros. He's the one that I've gotten the most feedback of people like putting into action. He drops a lot of nuggets that you can literally turn around and apply right away. And I got that same thing from his presentation at SEO Spring Training. You can put it into action, which was super cool. Now, I don't know if it was from him or who I picked it up from, but guys, on your calendar, this is one of the things that I picked up and I want to start implementing. On your calendar, there's a confirmation page. You can redirect that to another URL and you can put your video on there of like, hey, what to expect on the sales call, and then some video testimonials. So, man, like, I don't know why we're not all leveraging that. So that was a super like like, oh, like an aha moment, right? The light bulb turned on. Um, that I don't know why I never did it like myself, right? So for sure, um, I would recommend everyone do that. Like leverage those tools, leverage like those little bits of pieces that you can optimize and leverage that. Put it into your video like, hey, this is what you should expect on our phone call, and then put some like testimonials to help pre-position people to buy from you. So Dino was really cool. Josh Nelson was there. He was great, guys. Um, Seven-figure agency. He gave you the formula of the agency growth machine, what you should do daily, what you should do monthly, what you should do quarterly. Um, if you catch any of Josh Nelson's YouTube videos, like you can pick up those gold nuggets there. Super cool. Josh Nelson from Seven Figure Agency, and he also runs his own agency. I think it's plumber and HVAC SEO, as far as his regular agency. Again, Chris, he spoke as well. I'll be honest on his, it would just I did not really follow him, but I think it's just me, nothing else. Um, so Chris was there as well. Bradley Benner, guys, he was there. I was super excited to meet him, to see him. Um, one of like my personal heroes. I don't know if he knows it or not, but it's funny how it all comes together. So, guys, I don't know if you know, I somehow came across William Jones. I was a customer. Then we became friends. Now we're partners. So William Jones, I got introduced to William Jones. I got introduced to Patrick Shannon. I got introduced to Michael William or Mike Marlino through William Jones. And Mike kind of introduced me to Bradley Benner. Mike Marlino, and then I was actually in Semantic Masteries. That's where I learned my backlinking strategy, expired domains through them. But it's kind of like that whole network and who you get exposed to. So it was super cool to see Bradley there. He was speaking on directories. He still does that. He was speaking on kind of like everyday tasks, put in the effort of your everyday tasks and SOPs and growing your agency. But guys, if you can catch him on YouTube, let him know. If you guys, those that are catching the replays, he does a how does he call it? Hump Day Wednesday hangout on YouTube. You get a lot of knowledge, a lot of guidance through there. But Bradley Banner, super cool guy. Love seeing him there. Dorothy Friends was there. I did not catch hers. Again, it was one of the breakout rooms. So 2 days in a row, I wasn't able to catch her. Matt Zimmerman, man, that dude is a genius. So Zim Writer. So guys, Matt Zimmerman is one of the coolest dudes out there. Like approachable. He'll bust out his laptop, show you Zim Writer. Real that dude, he's a smart cookie, real smart cookie. So he kind of spoke about prompts, your persona, but he went deep into him. And then he showed you, but a lot of the heavy lifting can also be done with Zimwriter. To be honest with you, I haven't heard anyone nothing but love for Zimwriter. I've had him on GMB Pros twice. Yeah, twice on here. Real cool guy. Reach out to him, guys. Show him some love with Zimwriter. So I don't know, about 100, 120 people that were there, plus the speakers. Everybody's like, yep, Zimwriter, Zimwriter, Zimwriter. I use Zimwriter. There was another guy, he's part of one of my training groups I'm involved. He says, hey, my VAs love Zimwriter. I don't use it. I don't know nothing about it, but my VAs, like, it's all about Zimwriter. So Matt's a really cool. Adam McChesney. So guys, brand building, brand. Mike Marlino, right? Build your personal brand. So Adam McChesney gave us a 90-day plan. Guys, post daily, twice, post once, twice a week, a reel on your Facebook. Dominate that area, post, and don't post about business. Post about your personal stuff as well, family, what's going on with you. But guys, Adam has been on GMB Pros. Watch um, his challenge. This is the second time I hear Adam. He has a podcast. Support him on his podcast. Really cool guy. He definitely knows what he's talking about. So Adam was cool about branding, gave specific, kind of like Dino, he gave specific things to do within Facebook. Monic, Search Atlas was there. Guys, if you're not on Search Atlas, you can do a lot of good things. A lot of people are on Search Atlas, and he just brought on a new feature, guys, for automation, auditing your website, all the best practices. If you guys know, when I say best practices, you guys, if you know me and follow me, you know what I mean, right? Title tag, meta title tag, description, H1, anchor text, schema, backlinks, content, density within your content, um like all the best practices. Monix Search Atlas has a feature in there now. I'm gonna be kind of going and doing like a tool review of tools. I've done two so far, Local Dominator and I did ClickX. So those are the two tools that I've actually gone in, showed you the back end. I'll keep expanding on those. Um, and my ClickX cold email has been, working fantastic. Great results here lately. What else can I tell you, man? Terry or Monty did. Everybody was super excited. You can find backlink analysis, gap analysis on your competitors. Um, and even the auto audits, you have control. Like if you want to change some stuff on there, you don't like what it's producing, you can go in there, you have control to change that. Um, there is, I think just there's a JavaScript that you put on there and it gets that you connect the GMB, you connect the your Google Search Console and it grabs that data for you. What else say? I think you talked about local GMB. You can post through there. Q&As, I believe you can do through there. He has a lot. It can be overwhelming. So what I'm gonna hopefully be doing, I'm gonna reach out to Mane, is giving you a breakdown of the tool, but how to use it, how to use it for prospecting, how to use it for audit. Like if you want to do the GMB, where to do certain things, and kind of leverage that. The next speaker that was there is Terry. Again, one of those things in the breakout rooms. I did not get to see Terry, Powers, Dan, Kurtz. Again, it was just one of those things. I wasn't able to. I saw Chris's presentation, guys. Awesome. Testing. Showed why he was doing that test. And then Chris Palmer showed us the results. It was kind of those things you have to be there to kind of capture some of his testing. If you really want to go in deeper, Chris does have a mastermind group. He's a weekly guest on GMB Pros. In fact, he'll be on this week on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. So hop on here with us, ask him questions, guys. Chris Palmer is with us every other week on here. Mark, I was not able to catch him. So those are kind of the speakers. I wanted to give you guys my kind of like firsthand, um, was it worth it? Was it good info, networking? That's where the magic, man. SEO Spring Training was fantastic. The group of people that he had there, the speakers, were great. It wasn't so big that you couldn't meet new people. It wasn't so big that you got lost. Terry, his family, his sons, his girls were fantastic. They made you feel welcome. They made you feel at home. Um, I can't speak enough about the Samuels and what they put together was awesome. You also had some great sponsors. Randy was there from 38 Digital, Patrick Lead Snap, Web 2.0, Go High Level was on there, Digital Simplified, real cool guy, Zim Rider, um, Snappy, the tools was there with Chad. I'm trying to get him on. Agency Assassin. Some of these guys have done reviews. So the next couple one I think I'm gonna go with is Search Atlas and give kind of a review on how to use it. There's so much in there, so it'll probably be like an ongoing series. I a lot of us have gotten like pretty good or you've asked me like tools that you want to see, so I'll be doing a little bit of that as far as trying to give you guys more value, how you leverage it more than anything for more specifically for sales, for client retention, and how to help you diagnose and improve results for our clients. So Agency Assassin is going to be one of those next tools and Search Atlas. Ian is freaking constantly improving that. So I know that works. I use it myself in my agency. But again, guys, Terry, SEO Spring Training, if you guys can make it next time, Elizabeth and Terry Samuels, thank you. Great event. The networking was incredible. The solidifying of relationships was incredible. The knowledge that's there, it helps you like, man, there's more levels to this game, more levels. Helps you to think, to grow, to look at things beyond like what we see or our group that we hang out with, right? Loved it. I needed to be out there. These four walls sometimes can cave in on you. So there's a few changes coming too, like personally, guys, for my agency, for me personally. So I've had to pivot a little bit, but things are still fantastic, still blessed. So it was super nice to be out there and be around these people. Steven, did you have any questions of any of the speakers or anything specific to that conference?
No, it all sounded really great. I wish I could have gone. Sounds a lot better than it was last year.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So guys, this is my first time. So
Oh my goodness, it is way, way, way better than last year.
it was super. Now the hotel, I do if I have to give a con, those are all the pros, the speakers had a great man. I don't know what it was the year before, but if there was a con, I don't think the hotel itself lended itself to like the breakout rooms. So what I mean by that is like two of the breakout rooms were like upstairs. It wasn't a hike, but you had to go upstairs. I think another one was in a different part, but again, I never got to that one because like the two upstairs and the main one. So there's four. I thought there was a fifth one, breakout room. So you had to kind of travel. I don't know.
Well,
Uh,
from everything you shared, this sounds like Chris Palmer's conference mixed with SEO Spring Training, mixed with SEO at the beach, all three put together in one. And that's why I'm so jealous that I didn't go. I wish I could have been.
yeah. And here's the thing. Chris Palmer's was cool too. I'm biased because it was super local to me. So I like that. Um, the way Terry did those breakout rooms, it didn't make it like it was a marathon of speakers. So literally, there was a speaker. They gave like a 10-minute break to stretch, go to the bathroom while they plugged in their laptops and got the programs ready. So there was a break. It wasn't like one after the other after the other. So what he did was the main stage was speakers to lunch. We broke for lunch. When we came back, he had those breakout rooms. But those breakout rooms, they weren't necessarily shorter, but what it gave, for example, if you wanted it Chris or Holly, it was an even smaller group because you had like 5 to choose from, and you pick what, where you were struggling, because it was about sales, it was about mergers, it was about GMB, local SEO, it was about writing a book, it was about testing. So wherever you kind of were, um with your business, like I wish I would have seen Mike Rayburn. See, that dude's a smart cookie. Like, he has his process dialed in for sure, just in speaking to him. Um, like Travis, like, man, the way he thinks in the critical thinking. So it wasn't necessarily about SEO, it was more about business and running your business efficiently, right? So it wasn't hammering like strategy. Now, I did not go to the last part of Sunday, which was like, I don't know what you want. We'll just call it black hat or
Mhm.
whatever, the next level of like best practices. I didn't go to that. But again, I'm sure it was a smaller group. So back to those breakout rooms, it allowed you to be in a smaller group with the expert in front. So you were able to interact a little bit more. I'm sure they gave a little bit more secrets on the questions. Um, so just because there was those little rooms, it didn't mean that the time was cut. It was still the same hour, like if they were on the main stage, but it was more intimate. So, and then it felt like, okay, and then if you looked at the agenda, the schedule, okay, I want to go to this guy. So, the cool part, you walk down there. So maybe that was a good thing that it
It
was.
sounds like a great thing because there's so many times I go to conferences and I'm listening to the speaker and then I catch something that, ooh, I've got a question about that. And I write it down, jot it down. But then when it's over, you have 10 minutes to go to the bathroom, wait for the next person to get on. So then you have the next speaker listen to and you say, oh, I've got a good question about for that speaker. So pretty soon you have a whole list of questions. At the end of the day, during lunch break, you're scrambling trying to find the speaker so you can go ask them the questions. Then you
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt because they're already talking to other people. And when you hear them talking to other people, guess what? That's a good idea. I've got another question. You write down another question. Like pretty soon you have a whole list of questions and you don't even have time to ask them. So I like that layout or that organization. It sounds really cool. And it sounds like something that should have been done before.
Yeah. And the cool part is, because there was more intimate rooms on those breakout rooms, they straight up told you, like Bradley, like all of them, every last one that I went, and Mike Merlino, you could interrupt. Then they would tell you, hey, if you have any questions, just say it, right? There was rooms of 15 to 20, right? So it was very intimate. And that you could just, oh, you know what? You're since you're on that topic, ask the question. So definitely, yeah, that was for sure. Um, and then like as you went to different rooms, like you came across people, it almost felt like high school, right? You're going for your next class and stuff. Uh, I think somebody even mentioned that comment. But yeah, it was great, guys. We had a good time. We went out to dinner. Like, it goes without saying with the network, which was really cool.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah, guys, I went out. There was a friend of mine within marketing. I met out for lunch that day. He didn't go to the event, but he lives out there. We met. That was super cool. Um, So yeah, nothing but love for Terry. The way that the program, did it go perfect? No, right? And when you have an event like this, I don't think any of the organizers can say everything went as perfect, right? But gosh, I'm trying to think to be like non-biased. This was my first one, granted, right? And I compared it. I have Chris to compare it to. I've been to Josh Nelson's to compare it to, Patrick Shannon's to compare it to. Um, would I go again? Yes. And then knowing what I know now, would I pay to go again? The answer would be yes. Absolutely. There was some technical, if you want to give some more there was some technical issues, but the weird part is I literally like heard him speaking like, we just tested it. We literally just tested it. It worked fine. Then when the lights came on and cameras and action, it's like, just kidding. But nothing to like whatever, right? We understood we were amongst family by, you know, day one after lunch. It really felt like that. The vibe was super cool. The vibe was friendly. Um, going out, catching, tacos, catching dinner with people, was super cool, super cool. And I think we kind of experienced that in Vegas, right? Stephen, when we all went out to
Oh yeah.
dinner. I think we like half of us in that restaurant were just from the conference.
I
Uh,
loved it. I love going to the conferences and not only seeing friends, but also when you can meet a friend who knows another friend, and that friend knows a group of 2 or 3 friends, and that friend knows one of the speakers, and pretty soon you have a pack of 10 or 12 of you. You can all go out to eat and you can all listen to each other talking. You can always learn something better there. And to me, that's just like what you're talking about by these small groups that you had, these breakout groups. That's where you can ask questions because you're not having to be quiet to respect the person on stage and all the people in the audience. You can just ask questions whenever you want. And that sounds like that's what you had, SEO Spring Training. And so I'm just really jealous I didn't go.
yeah, yeah, it was cool. And I think a lot of it too, right? Maybe I'm not the right guy for that because I try to look at the positives for everything. But man, it was again, I already went through it. So a lot of my questions are if I know what I know now after gone through, would I do it again? Yes. And would I go next year? Yes, at 100%. Especially like you said, hey man, this sounds better than last year's. I have no idea. So if he keeps the same format, it's a winning format, guys, for sure.
Last year they did the reviews at the end where you had to give your reviews as your take as to what you thought about the survey, beginning, middle, end, speaker, time, all that stuff. And I don't know what they got back, but it sounds like they got back some great information because I heard a bunch of people saying that they were aggravated that they had to wait for 2 or 3 speakers to get done before they finally heard the speaker that they wanted to hear. And those 2 or 3 speakers didn't have anything else to do with what they needed to know. And so they would just go out and mix and mingle and talk with people out in the hallway. And then that kind of disrupted the meeting or the conference as they would come and go. So it sounds like much better organization was put into this presentation.
Yeah, definitely. I liked it. I liked it. Um, man, Holly, Mike, Rayburn, Mike Marlino, Chad, these are people, some of these people is the first time I meet. Some of these people, like, we went a little bit deeper, got to know them a little bit more.
Actually, it was last year's SEO Spring Training where I learned about ZimWriter. Now, Matt was not there. It was someone else in the audience that told me about ZimWriter. And he said, Steven, you've got to get this writer. It's the best app ever. I got the app, but did I value the app most? No, I valued Matt the most. He taught so much about how to use thinking and how to write with your thinking and put that into ZimWriter so that ZimWriter can do it for you. And instead of just, okay, push a button, spit an article out. It's a lot more to it than that. And Matt has taught me so much. I would have given anything to come to SEO Spring Training this year and be able to meet Matt and ask him all sorts of questions and get my picture with him.
It's funny you say that. There was another group, the training group I'm in. I told them, oh, or somebody, it was three of us, and somebody was talking and said, oh, Matt's here from ZimWriter. I don't know, he didn't see the speakers, but he perked up just like what? Here, what? I would love a picture. I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
The funny part is Matt was literally 3, 4 chairs from where we were at when we were sitting. In fact, he was on the same table, just 3, 4, and I had talked me like Matt recognized me. I can't say like we're buddies, like, but he knows who I am. Hey Matt, and then that dude is like like dude, and that's okay. So when I tell you guys like he didn't know about ZimWriter or he doesn't know about ZimWriters because Matt asked him what's the best thing you like about ZimWriter, he was like, I have no clue, but my VAs love it. He's like, I don't know, but my VAs will. They say get rid of every other tool but ZimWriter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm figuring his content stuff like that.
Yes.
But
In fact, Matt actually has some people that have used his ZimWriter so much, they have created training courses, which I have bought and listened to learn how to use ZimWriter from a different point of view. Someone that didn't program it themselves and create it themselves, but more they're a customer that's used it and tweaked it and asked questions to improve it and putting their input. And now they're teaching ZimWriter. So I've gotten some great training on ZimWriter.
yeah, what's his name? In fact, I think he's in my backyard. San Diego area,
Mhm.
like that, maybe deep. I forget his name, but he's really big into promoting ZimWriter. He's a big user. I tried to get him on GMB Pros, but it just didn't happen. Um, but yeah, definitely. I've seen some of his videos on ZimWriters. I can't think of his name right now. He has a
Casey Kidd.
who?
Casey.
Casey Kidd.
Yes.
He's
Yeah,
from Ventura, Alfredo.
yes. And guys, show him some love. I think he puts out some cool YouTube like videos that are like Steven said,
Mhm.
that you can really take and use. I wasn't able to get him on GMB Pros, but I've talked to him. Real cool guy. Um, but yeah, if you Steven's 100% right. There's guys that do training programs around ZimWriter that are super well.
That are customers of ZimWriter.
Yes, yeah, and that's the only thing is now, Steven, I think the only reason, well, it changed now because I just got my first PC, but ZimWriter's a PC only, right? Not a Mac. That's
Matt said the first thing he was doing this year, 2024, was make it compatible with Mac. So I'm not sure where he stands on that. I haven't heard. I'm a PC/Mac user. Mac is my second priority. PC is my first priority.
and I just got my first PC. Well,
Congratulations.
in my house, right? Like
Congratulations.
it's Mac, and that was the same thing with boost. That's where I learned the hard way. I got CTR booster. Well, not on a Mac. You're not. So
Well,
till recently, I got it. The only thing it's on a different. It's more of a server.
right.
It doesn't really have a camera, to kind of show the setup. That's why Southern Riz, or yeah, Riz Southern on GMB Pros, he teaches it how to set it up. Chris has said before. Otherwise, I would, show people how to do it.
There's some people that were born with Mac. There's some people that are born with Windows. I was born with Windows. I've been a Windows Microsoft certified person for years. Mac is my second priority. I love the battery life of Mac, but Windows is just more compatible because there's so many thousands and thousands of programs that have been created for Windows. That was Bill Gates' first job, or for his first goal for creating Visual Basic, was a program that people used to create programs that would work with Windows. And Mac had a different direction to go.
Right. So that's the only reason why I don't have ZimWriter. Just I didn't have a Mac to run it off of.
You'll love it once you start using it.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. Everybody, like, when it comes, and I understand if you guys meet Matt, the way he thinks, him as a person, it reflects on the product. Like, everybody loves Matt. Everybody loves ZimWriter.
The one benefit to ZimWriter, which I guarantee you other apps are going to pick up on and take after Matt's thinking, but you know how any sort of AI works. If you tell it to write me one paragraph about roofing, it'll do a great job writing you one paragraph about roofing. If you tell it to write me a book on roofing, well, it may not be the book you were expecting it to write.
Right.
And so Matt's whole thinking philosophy was, why don't we have it write multiple paragraphs that all sync together, all flow together. Therefore, every paragraph is unique, yet flows with the last paragraph. And therefore, it is rewritten. And then after it writes all of them, then go through all of them, make sure they all flow together. That's Matt's thinking. That's his whole unique point to ZimWriter that's different than any other writer out there. And that's why it's so awesome. I think everyone's going to take after him eventually through time.
Well, here's the cool part. When I saw him on stage, in Arizona, and even when I had him on GMB Pros, and I asked him, "Hey, you want to come on?" He says, "Yeah." And the first question, Alfred, hey, ask people to bring prompts to the table so I can improve them for them. His whole speech, not his whole speech, but a bulk of his speech was about not only like, hey, write like Harry, write like Steven, write like Alfredo, but it's create that persona in feeling, in character, and then he actually showed us how to, when you tell somebody like write like Harry, and it writes, it'll actually put, and this is Harry. So he showed us how to, and the way you do that is like tell ChatGPT, this is Harry's like sentiment, and then have it write like that sentiment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
So,
the cool thing
his,
that you can go ahead.
just to finish that thought, his whole thing, the bulk of it was about prompt writing, how to improve that, how to make it better, what's the difference between 4 and 3.5, and then he says, and I put all this together in ZimWriter, and this is where it's at, and this is how you can leverage it.
Another unique thing about ZimWriter that Matt really put some thought into that I find so unique and makes it be the best writing program so far, which I think other people are going to take after, is, Alfredo, if I had to ask you, what is the best article about landscaping? What's the best article about landscaping?
What's the best, if you ask me that,
Now, what do you think is the best article about landscaping?
it's some type of blog, I don't know.
To me, it's the article that's ranked #1 in Google for the
That's
keyword
right,
phrase
that's
you search for that has to do with landscaping.
right.
That's what's so unique about ZimWriter is Matt can say, okay, you can go through the Google list and pick the #1. Now, if #1 article page is not what you're after, it doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing, change your keyword phrase or go to website #2. If that's not it, go to website #3. But you find the top site that you like the look and feel of, the writing about, you take that and you say, okay, ZimWriter, I want you to pull from this page. This is going to be your first chunk of data. Then you go off and find the next page. And then you find the next page and you find all these pages that are exactly about your article. Then you can go use another program such as TextRaiser or another tool that finds all the keywords that Google looks for that have to do with this landscaping keyword phrase. And you can say, okay, ZimWriter, here's the 3 or 4 paragraphs of all the 3 or 4 pages I want you to pull from. And I want you to throw this clump of keyword phrase in there. So ZimWriter put all that together and then spit it all out in one beautiful article. And then the best part about that article got pulled from website A, website B, website C, all your keywords. So what does that equal? It equals a unique article that has never been written before that is not a copy of anyone else's article.
Yeah, 100%. It kind of reminds me of Search Atlas. He talked a little bit about that and how his philosophy of SEO, and because he has an AI program in there as well, and how to like capture that into like clusters and build stuff out, which was pretty cool. But yeah. Harry, man, how are you?
Good, Alfredo. Good.
So I
Haven't
was
seen
just,
for a long time.
yeah. I was just giving a recap of SEO Spring Training, which was, it was really nice. It was different. Had breakout rooms just to kind of recap here a little bit. But met a lot of speakers. Terry put a great group of speakers together, in my opinion. But then again, like, I love Marlino. Bradley Benner was a
Oh, he
cool.
was there, Bradley?
Yeah. He was there. You guys know who Chase Reiner
Of
is?
course, very well.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. Guys, what you see on YouTube, the way he talks, the way he carries himself, his demeanor, same guy as you see in person, same guy. And
I
he's
know
not
him very well,
he's
very
not
well.
short, but he's not like super tall. But I wouldn't like, I don't want to call him tall, like Mike Marlino tall, but he's not, definitely not short. He's taller than me. I'm 5'9". I don't know why that, like, when you meet people, you have a certain picture, or you think like they're different, like, but he's not. He's the same guy you see on like Chris Palmer. A lot of people like Chris Palmer. The way you see Chris Palmer on YouTube, that's how he is in person as well.
Mhm.
Patrick, the same way, what you see, like, as far as his demeanor and stuff. Monik is the same way. If you guys ever catch any of his stuff from Search Atlas, the way he is, the way he'll talk to you. Monik has a way to like make you feel like you're the only one in the room. Like, he truly is sincere in helping you grow. But guys, we're coming up to an hour. Hopefully you guys found some value. Hopefully, kind of get an insight from somebody that went. Again, I kind of gave pros and cons. I didn't want to just the event is come and gone. So if I can give some light in my experience with that, I liked it. I really did like it a lot. I'm glad I went. I'm really glad I went. The networks, again, the friendships, the solidification of some friendships were pretty awesome. So with that said, guys, tomorrow we have LinkedIn. Let me look here real quick. We have LinkedIn prospecting. I think we're coming that with Drew and Matthew. Let me see. Yeah, with Drew and Matthew. And then we have Chris Palmer on Wednesday. We'll probably talk a little bit more about SEO training. So guys, if you want to know about any of the testing, stuff like that, questions, bring them to the table on Wednesdays with Chris Palmer, especially. It's the same idea with the breakout room. There's not like 100 people on there, so you get them one-on-one, and you know, kind of do a deep dive, and once in a while you'll drop, you know, some gold nuggets. I don't know if you caught them, but sometimes I have to stop the recording while he drops the nugget and then pick it back up. So if you catch them, they're live. Let's see here. Yeah, 100%, Steven. Yeah, 100%. All right, guys, with that said, much love, much success, and I'll catch you on the next one.